Good morning, everybody. It's Mrs. Rebecca here with another recorded virtual story time from the Brown Public Library. Should we go ahead and get started? We always start with some bread and butter hellos. That's how we say hello to each other. And they're always a pair of opposites, right? So we like to start with quiet and loud. And so we clap. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as quietly as we can. Hello. Good job. So now the opposite. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as loudly as we can on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello! Good job. I'm always worried someone will think, oh, someone needs help at the library. But seems to have gone okay so far. So we'll do another pair of opposites now. Let's do quickly and slowly this time. So we'll start with bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as quickly as we can. Ready? Hello! Job. And now the opposite is slowly. And I always like to try to make every letter, letters are the things that make words. I always try to make every letter so we can hear it. I should really bring my letters out. Next week I'll bring my letters out when we do this. That would be fun. But I don't have them here right now. So let's go ahead. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as slowly as we can. Ready? Hello. Good job. Can you imagine if you talked like that all the time? If when you came to the grocery store, you said, I would like a banana. We'd never get anything done. But it's kind of fun. So at our story times in the treehouse this week, one of them, maybe my favorite one, we talked about cities. And we read a couple of different books about cities. And it's funny, I'm going to read a different book so that you guys get to read something different if you're watching this and you also came to story time, but we will do the same song. And actually, look at this book I have today. So there's 2 things about this book. One is, it is our friend Zoe's. It's one of her favorite books, and I'm actually going to call her to tell her it's back at the library as soon as I am done with this story time. I promise, Zoe. It just became available again. And I promise I'll call you right afterwards. 2 is that a friend in our community actually donated this book. So thank you to that friend. And it's called Maxi the Taxi. And see, we talked about at our story time how in the city there's these big, huge buildings that we definitely don't have in Northfield. And sometimes people, instead of having their own cars, will ride around in, what color car is this? Yellow, a little yellow car called a taxi, and a driver will take them places, and they can just sit in the back seat and relax or work or talk to their children, whatever they want to do. So it's called Maxi the Taxi, and it's by Elizabeth Upton. Maxi the Taxi was a dazzling sight. Everything about him was flashy and bright. He was little and yellow and shiny and new. On his first day of work, there was so much to do. His friend, Mr. Buddy, sent Max on his way. Drive safely, said Buddy, and have a great day. Max zipped here, Max zipped there. He zipped everywhere. From the park to the river and back to the square, He zoomed up, he zoomed down, he zoomed all around, splashing in every big puddle he found. Small, sticky fingers at stop after stop let ice cream and mustard go. Plippity-plop. And outside the gates of an elegant park, a friendly pigeon left her mark. Oh no, look, that pigeon pooped on Maxi the Taxi. Then up came a taxi gal, sparkling and neat, who whispered to Maxi as they rolled down the street, "You better wash up, Mr. Gooey Goo, or no one will want to ride in you." Oh, that's sad. He looks a little worried. When a fashionable lady waved for a ride, Maxi zoomed over, but splashed her right side. Uh-oh. "My skirt," screamed the lady, "and look at you. You're filthy and gooey and grimy too." Oh no, she's upset because he got her dirty. And she's offended that he is dirty. Soon all the people who needed a taxi took one quick look and walked right past Maxi. Max was so sad. Down streamed his tears, and his swish-swashing wipers turned dirt into smears. Oh no. Then a boy with his mother, who waved, jumped, and hopped, were happy when Maxi zoomed over and stopped. "Yuck," said the boy. "I hope it's okay if we stop at the car wash across the way." Oh, what a good idea, a car wash. Have you guys ever been through a car wash before? A car wash will make a car nice and clean. And it's kind of fun to go through one. There they go. At the mouth of the car wash, Max screeched to a stop, afraid he'd be eaten like a yellow gumdrop. Clink-clack, Maxi's tires rolled on to the tracks, but it was too late for Max to turn back. So I don't think we have a car wash quite like this in Northfield. I don't know how far you would have to go, maybe to Barry? I don't know where the nearest big car wash is that's automatic like this. Rum-mum-mum went the brushes, pish-pish went the spray, washing the grit and dirt away. Flip-flop went the scrubbers, blip-blop went the suds, and they tickled his muffler and bumper and hubs. So when I was a child, I know I loved to go through the car wash, but I also know that sometimes it can be a little scary, like for the first time. I'm really curious how many of you have been through them before and what you think about them. "Beep, beep, beep," laughed Max. Oh, because he's getting tickled. "Beep, beep, 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 beep." And out of the car wash, he rolled to the street. So I think Maxi the Taxi enjoyed the car wash. Outside, the streetlights shone down on Max, and magically Max felt himself shining back. Oh, that's a beautiful picture. Look at that. The boy and his mom riding along. He opened his windows, ready for flight, and away they all went through the sparkling night. "Welcome home," said Mr. Buddy. "You're right on time, with no bumps or scratches. Just look at your shine." Well, that boy and his mom really helped Maxi out. "How was your day, Max? Where have you been? Here's an extra polish while I tuck you in." Max told the whole story of his kind new friend and the big bath that splashed him from middle to end. He looks sleepy, doesn't he? Is that how you feel when you take your bath at the end of the night and get tucked in? And then, very tired, Max sighed, beep, and driftily, dreamily, he fell fast asleep. And that's the end of the Maxi the Taxi story. So, we're going to sing a song, and it's almost more of a chant than a song. You'll pick up on it pretty quickly. And it's the same one. It's one of the same ones we did at our story time in the treehouse. So if you were at it, it might be familiar to you. This is my friend Arthur, who helps me with these songs since I'm sitting. He can be the stander up. He doesn't actually have to stand up today, though. The first way you can do the song we're about to do is as a lap bounce. And so I think we'll learn it that way first. But if you're watching without a grown-up, or if you're an older child, instead of bouncing like this, instead of having a grown-up like bounce you like this, you can clap. And that's what I'll do when I run through the whole thing at the end. But like if you are a grown-up watching with a child, you could keep bouncing in the second version too. So the song starts out about a hippopotamus. Here's a picture of a hippopotamus. I brought a book to show you a picture. So they're really big animals, which is important to know because after we do the bounces, we can hug ourselves if we're a big kid, or if you're doing it with a child, you can give them a big hug when we talk about squishing. Ready? So it goes, oh, and I learned this song from Jayberry. Thank you, Jayberry. Ready? So it goes, the hippopotamus got on the city bus, and all the people said, "You're squishing us." So before we move on to the next one, I forgot to say, why are we singing this song? We read about a taxi, which is one way to get around a big city, and so a bus is another way to get around a city. Also, I mean, some of you probably ride the bus to school, but that's the connection. So we'll move on to the next version. And I have a picture to show you and a question to ask to go along with it. So, what animal is this? It's a cow. And what do cows say? Moo. So we're going to, I don't want to ruin it. I want it to be a surprise, but you'll see what we'll do. And you'll understand because we're going to sing the cow got on the bus. And all the people said, move over. And so you can take your child or your body, or your whole body, and go, move over. Good job. So the next one, and this is the last one, but we'll put them all together and clap through it, even if you're bouncing at home. What's this animal? This is a sheep. And actually, so this is specifically a ewe. It's a mommy sheep, and that's a baby sheep called a lamb. But we'll just say sheep, and think about what sheep say, right? What does a sheep say? Bah! Good job. So that's important in this part of the song. So we'll start bouncing again, or clapping if you're a big kid, or jumping if you're a big kid. You could also just jump yourself. So we'll say the sheep got on the bus, and all the people said, back up. So it's almost like a joke. And at our house, when I was learning this, we tried to think of so many different versions of this song that you could do. It was really hard to think of animal noises. Maybe the best one I thought of, and I won't show you a picture of a cat, but just to show you how you could do other versions at home is, ready? The cat got on the bus, and all the people said, dance to the music. Get it? Music. So anyway, you can, especially if you're a big kid, you could try to think of some of your own, and it doesn't always have to go with the sound. Like you could say like, the skunk got on the bus, and all the people said, you smell bad, which should probably hurt the skunk's feelings. So before we do our goodbye song, I just want to do the first three we learned about the hippopotamus and the cow and the sheep all together, and I'm going to clap instead of bouncing Arthur. But if you're, you can clap along at home, or if you're with a grown-up, you can keep bouncing. So here we go. The hippopotamus got on the city bus, and all the people said, you're squishing us. Now the cow got on the bus, and all the people said, move over. One more. The sheep The sheep got on the bus, and all the people said, back up. Good job. Give yourselves a round of applause. That was a fun one. So we read a book about a taxi, and we learned a song about a city bus. So whenever we get to go to cities again, we'll be ready, right? And we have more books about cities and buses, and I think at least even a couple more about taxis at the library. So you can always call us or email us if you would like to borrow some books. And we're open by appointments on Tuesday and Thursdays as well. So just let us know if you'd like to come in one of those days. So I think that is the end. So we'll sing It's Time to Say Goodbye to Our Friends. It's time to say goodbye to our friends. Story time is done today, so come again another day. It's time to say goodbye to our friends. Bye everybody, have a great Saturday and weekend.